One of the most frustrating things about growing older is that we often lose self-confidence. As younger men dominate social media feeds with sculpted abs, endless selfies, and their constant drive for fitness and validation, older men are left questioning their worth. Coming of age, older men often accept sometimes too easily that they're no longer attractive, valuable, or even desirable. But the truth, the complete opposite, is often more accurate. You see, there is something profoundly respectable and magnetic about older men. Something timeless. Older men tend to have something that no gym membership can buy: life experience. And with experience comes a deeper, steadier form of confidence that's rooted in maturity. This maturity is what separates them from the impulsiveness and insecurity often found in younger men. Women notice this, they feel it, and more often than not, they admire it. Younger men, although physically energetic, often come across as emotionally immature or unstable. They chase validation, attention, and approval. Older men, on the other hand, focus more on meaningful issues: legacy, stability, wisdom, emotional intelligence that shift in mindset. It's powerfully attractive today. We're diving deep into this fascinating phenomenon and uncovering how society may have misguided you into thinking you're no longer attractive, when in reality, you might just be exactly what a woman truly desires. What makes an older man attractive? To better understand what makes an older man attractive, you need to see the dating world through a woman's eyes. Attraction is rarely just about appearance. It's often about how a man makes her feel. Women are deeply wired with primal needs. One of those is protection, yes, but not just physical, emotional protection, financial protection, even spiritual protection. Women want to feel safe, seen, and supported, and older men often offer just that. Now, one of the reasons younger men can appear attractive is because they radiate a fierce drive. That high-octane energy makes them seem like action takers. Men who are going somewhere, this drive sparks intrigue, but there's a trade-off. That same drive can often feel chaotic, unstable, or selfish. Older men, they operate differently. They don't rush into decisions. They observe, they calculate, they know what's worth pursuing and what's not. That deliberate caution, it doesn't scream insecurity, it screams wisdom and that patience. Oh, that deep, composed patience is a magnet for women, craving emotional stability. So while younger men rush into the fire, older men know when to wait it out, when to strike, and most importantly, when to walk away. That level of self-control is rare, and it doesn't go unnoticed. Why women find this attractive? Here's where it gets even more interesting. One of the biggest shifts older men go through is their change in priorities. Younger men often live under the false belief that in order to be respected, they must sacrifice themselves to win over a woman, constantly trying to make her happy, impress her, or prove their worth. But older men, they've lived, they've learned, and they no longer chase validation. Instead of putting women on a pedestal, they focus on what yields results in their own life: career, health, purpose, passion, spiritual grounding. They've stopped centering their lives around women. And ironically, that's exactly what draws women toward them. This detachment is powerful. It sends a signal that says, I'm not chasing you, I'm choosing myself. And as nature would have it, women are drawn to what they can't immediately have: mystery and self-possession become incredibly seductive. Up next, the 7 undeniable signs, now that we've laid the foundation. Let's talk about the signs. How do you know if a woman secretly sees you as an attractive older man, even if you don't think so? These next few signs are subtle, powerful, and deeply rooted in human behavior. Miss them, and you'll never realize how much power you already hold. Let's begin with sign number 1, connective eye contact. One of the most powerful signs that you are attractive is actually something as simple and as primal as basic eye contact. You see, we naturally spend more time looking at the things we like: Think about the last time you went shopping. You probably stared longer at the things that caught your eye. Right. The same thing happens in human attraction. When a woman finds you attractive, her eyes will do the talking before her words ever do. She might glance at you from across the room, but if she's truly interested, she won't just glance, she'll linger, even if just for a second longer than normal. And in that tiny moment, a silent message is sent. I noticed you. But here's where it gets fascinating. Women are naturally more reserved with eye contact because it can feel incredibly intimate. So when she allows herself to look into your eyes and you catch her, it's not by accident. She may even be the first to break eye contact and glance down. That's not disinterest, that's submission, a subconscious act of showing vulnerability and attraction. Behavioral psychology, this is a universal sign of respect and attraction. Now, if she holds your gaze just long enough to draw you in, but then breaks it with a subtle smile or a bashful turn, that's gold, that's desire simmering just beneath the surface, and when you speak to her, pay attention, does she hold eye contact for a few seconds, then look away gently. That rhythm of tension and release is often her way of saying, I see you and I want to know more. If you spot this, lean in and start a conversation, because the next sign often follows right behind it. Sign number 2, the power of a smile. As part of the first one, you should also understand the importance of a smile. There's something incredibly disarming about a genuine smile. Scientists have confirmed that when two people who are attracted to each other lock eyes, a slight smile often follows. And when that happens, dopamine floods the brain. That's the feel-good chemical, the emotional reward system firing up. It's her body's way of saying, this feels good, stay here. So, if a woman flashes a soft, lingering smile in your presence, especially after eye contact, you're the reason her brain just lit up. You might also notice something even more revealing. She laughs at your jokes. Yes, even the ones that aren't funny. Why? Because when we're interested in someone, we invest our attention. We give them the benefit of the doubt. We want to show support, even subconsciously. And here's the key: if she laughs at things you say more than others do, or gives you that glimmer in her eye when you talk, you're probably already living rantry in her mind. She doesn't just hear your words, she feels them, because you're not just some guy, you've become someone worth focusing on. If you're not one for humour, no problem. Just compare how engaged she is in conversations with you versus others. If she gives you more attention, more questions, more emotional energy, she's attracted, period. Women rarely say it outright. They prefer subtle layered signs. And attention is one of the strongest signs, the Merca 3 attention to detail. One of the most powerful signs of attraction from women is also one of the easiest to overlook detail. You might be surprised at how much she remembers small things you may not even remember saying. Maybe you casually mentioned a childhood vacation spot or a favourite drink, and 2 weeks later she brings it up in a completely unrelated conversation. That's not a coincidence. When a woman likes you, her mind starts to organise data about you. She starts remembering what you like, dislike, dream about, or worry over. It's like her brain is building a map of who you are, where you've been, and what matters to you. That kind of mental bandwidth isn't spent on just anyone. She may even test your consistency, bringing up something you said before, not to trap you, but to see if your words match your character. And if she starts giving you advice, don't brush it off. That means she's emotionally invested. She's not trying to control your life. She's trying to improve it with you in it. She wants you to succeed, to thrive. That's more than attraction. That's care. Compare this to women who don't like you. They don't remember, don't ask, don't contribute. They exist in your life without truly entering it. But if she starts involving herself in your stories, remembering things you forgot, and nudging you toward better choices, she's not just listening, she's feeling sign number 4. She talks about herself in your future life. This one might seem subtle at first, but it's massive. You see, women are incredibly imaginative. Their minds aren't just focused on the now, they constantly project into the future. So if a woman starts placing herself in your future, even hypothetically, it's a sign she's already thinking of you as more than a passing interest. She might ask you questions about where you see yourself in 5 years, or whether you want to travel somewhere she's been dreaming about. But the key is this: she frames those questions as if you're already part of the same story. It could sound like if we ever move to the coast, or imagine us retiring somewhere quiet. These aren't just daydreams, these are subconscious seeds she's planting. And if she allows herself to even explore that fantasy out loud, it's because she feels safe and intrigued by what the two of you could become. Women don't imagine futures with men they don't care about. But when attraction is present, she'll weave you into her mental love story before you even know it. Sign number 5, you become a beacon of trust. One of the biggest challenges in modern relationships is the crumbling foundation of trust in today's fast-paced, attention-driven world. Genuine trust is rare, especially between men and women. You see, most women have been let down, misled or manipulated by men whose only intention was short-term gratification. And because of this, they've built emotional walls. Thick ones. So when a woman begins to trust you, truly trust you, that's no small thing. That's not casual, that's significant. She's not just sharing stories about her day. She's opening a door to her vulnerabilities, her past, her worries, her hopes. She might start asking for your opinion, not because she needs answers, but because she values the way you think. Even more interesting, she might ask your advice on things she's already figured out, just to hear your perspective, just to feel your presence in her decision and process. That's a subtle test she's observing. Whether your guidance is thoughtful, sincere, and rooted in her best interests, or if you're simply trying to sound important. When she trusts you, she may also start confiding in you about conflicts, past traumas, or personal doubts. And if she brings these issues to you, it means she sees you as emotionally grounded enough to carry that weight. She sees you as a safe place in a world full of emotional chaos. But here's the catch: you must handle this trust with care. Many older men, out of a desire to help, accidentally overstep. They begin to show more care for her life than she does for herself. And while that might seem noble, it can backfire. Why? Because women are wired to respect men who respect themselves the moment you sacrifice your peace, your purpose, or your standards to fix her world. You lose your edge, your grounded masculinity becomes needy over investment, and that kills attraction. Fast the lesson here: be her anchor, not her rescuer sign while she starts playing games. Now here's where things get tricky. Just because you're mature, focused, and driven doesn't mean women will stop testing you. In fact, when a woman is truly attracted to you, she'll likely test you more, not out of malice, but to confirm her instinct that you're the real deal. This can look like her pulling away for no reason, ignoring a message, cancelling a plan last minute, or even trying to distract you when she knows you're busy. Why? She's watching to see if you'll bend, if you'll drop your purpose, if you'll stop building your legacy, just to chase her validation. Too many men fall for this. The moment she gives them attention, they put their goals on hold. They stop showing up for themselves and start orbiting around her. And the sad truth, that's when she starts pulling away. Not because she wants someone emotionally unavailable, but because she wants someone centered. If you stay true to your path, keep your energy focused, and don't allow her emotional swings to sway your vision, that's when she'll know he's different, he's solid, he's the kind of man I can trust with my heart. This dynamic isn't about playing hard to get, it's about being hard to shake. Women fall for men who have gravity, and your gravity is your mission. Sign number 7. She invites you into her personal life. This one is the crown jewel of the list. Women guard their personal lives with deep care, friends, family, private routines. It's a fortress, and if you're invited into that space, it's not because she's being polite. It's because she wants you there. You might start getting invited to casual hangouts with her friends. She might ask you to join her for dinner with her parents, or she may start texting you about what her best friend said at brunch, or venting about family drama. What's happening here is simple integration. She's trying to weave you into the fabric of her world. Now, pay close attention to this transition. If she lets you meet her inner circle, it means she's serious. But remember, these people will judge you. They'll scan your behavior, your language, your posture, your vibe, and their opinion will matter to her more than you know. So be intentional, be warm, be calm, and most of all, stay. If you win over her social circle, you've not only earned her attraction, but her admiration, because for a woman to allow you into her personal life, she has to believe that your presence will elevate it. That's attraction on the deepest level. Women are complex, but they're not impossible to understand. If you've been aging and quietly losing self-confidence, it's time to shift your mindset. Being older doesn't make you less desirable. In many cases, it makes you irresistible. Your calm energy, your life wisdom, your emotional steadiness, your grounded presence. These are things younger men can't fake, and women know it as long as you keep progressing. Building and protecting your energy, the right women will gravitate towards you. Not because you're chasing them, but because you're becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to chase at all. And that, my friend, is the real game. Next video hook. But there's one thing that even the most attractive older men struggle with: seduction. You've built the attraction. Now, watch our next video to unlock the secrets of turning attraction into connection and connection into desire.